This conference will now be recorded.
Okay. Yeah, good morning, team. In this Databricks Data Engineering Master Program, so in today's session, we will talk about scheduling notebook from Databricks workflow. A quick tour on the notebooks part 2. So what we are going to discuss is we are going to discuss about the notebook options part 2 today. Okay, notebook options part 2 we are going to look at today, team. So what we have discussed yesterday, can you quickly tell me, team? What we have discussed yesterday, can you quickly tell me if you remember?
All the operations that you did on the file, and there is some exploratory work that we did around scheduling as well, jobs.
Right.
Yeah, yesterday we discussed on firstly on the create community edition, and then we see what are all the notebook options related to import and export, and also we see that uh, uh, import options like source file and IPython notebook, and also uh, uh, Databricks that file, and also other options like what is the difference between all-purpose cluster and job cluster, and also the new feature which is serverless cluster, and also other things we can see how all four files how we need to import from with the different names. These things we discussed on yesterday on overview.
Very good. So today we will discuss about the remaining parts, team. So we will learn quick recap of yesterday notebook options and how to log in into Azure portal, how to create Azure Databricks, creating configuring clusters in Azure Databricks. As we discussed, if you remember, we wanted to discuss some of the features that we were not able to edit, or some of the options that we are not able to explore in the Databricks community. We will be exploring today using the Azure Databricks. So we'll create a notebooks. I'll show you how to share notebook with others, how to schedule notebooks, how to format code in the notebooks. So you have written a code in whatever fashion you want, but you want to format it for the more readability. How you can format the code, we will see. How to run specific cells in the notebook, we will discuss. What are the shortcuts to run the cell, we will discuss. How to run entire notebook, we will discuss. All other options on the notebook we'll be discussing in today's session. Okay, so assignments, you need to understand how to run notebook daily at 8 a.m. IST from Databricks workflow, how to create notebook parameters, how to delete command in notebook, how it will work, you can see. How to add index page in notebook. See, index page is very helpful for us, right? For example, in a book, if you see, index page will help you to understand. Let's say I want a sixth chapter, so you know exactly from which page it is starting, you can quickly go there, right? Similarly, index page we can able to create in the notebook. I'll explain to you, but as part of the assignment, you also have to prepare that index page. Okay. So now we will go to the portal.azure.com. Okay, go into this Azure portal. I am going to. Then you can see in the Azure portal, you can search for Azure Databricks. Go to Azure Databricks. So as we have seen on the day one, when we create a Azure Databricks background, all the dependency resources also will get created, right? This is a subscription, which is used to make the charges, like all the usage charges will be added to that subscription. We will be making the payment. Resource group is basically, so it's a group to maintain all the development resources. Workspace is nothing but a Databricks workspace name. For all of us, we have names to identify uniquely. Similarly, Databricks will have a name to identify it uniquely. So click review plus create. validation passed, you can create it. Okay, validation passed, you can create it. Okay, so what is the option of clone team? What is the use of clone? Can you tell me?
It's duplicate
We
of
can maintain revert back the versioning. If you want uh, world versions, we can clone that also.
Yeah. Clone is just backup for the
instead of
original.
changing the original file, so we can clone it and we can do modifications.
Okay, so
It is a
clone is
duplicate.
nothing but taking the copy of the same notebook so that original file, for example, you are working on the original file. So before you work on the original file or cloned file, you should have a one copy of that notebook so that if anything goes wrong, you can immediately restore it to the original. For example, you think of this way, I have a dimcustor.py notebook, and what happens, you need to add some new columns to this particular. Within this notebook you are handling the dimension called customer dimension. As part of the customer dimension, you have to add a few new columns. So you are making some code changes. Before you make code changes, it is highly recommend you to take a one backup. Okay, so you can say backup.py. How you will take this? Just you have to uh, go to this notebook, click on the clone. It will just take a copy of that notebook. So the copied notebook, the cloned notebook name, you can give it as a bkp, so that this is the original notebook you will have as it is. Now what happens, you can work on the this original notebook, you can work on the changes. If for example this is not working, something went wrong, you want to compare with the original code. See, original code you have not touched, right? You have taken a backup of the original code you have here. Now you made some changes in this notebook. Now you can compare and you can see what changes you have done and all. Clear? That is the clone one, right? Next, scheduled one. Yesterday we have seen scheduled one was running on what team? Yesterday in Databricks, scheduled jobs are running on which type of cluster? There are three types of clusters we discussed: all-purpose
Job cluster.
cluster, job cluster,
Job
serverless cluster. Yesterday, yesterday in Databricks community, job ran on which cluster? Serverless cluster, not job cluster. You see here, this is basically the Databricks service. Once you click on this overview, now you need to click on launch workspace. Click on your account. Okay. Now this is our Azure Databricks team. Now you can go to compute. You will have all the options will be enabled for you to create the compute. You see, you can create a compute. SQL warehouse, if you see, already one of the warehouse it is ready. Meaning one of the warehouse, it is already available team that you can able to use it. But if you want one more serverless, what you can do, you can just click on the create serverless. You can just give the name. You can say, is it x small or 2x small, whatever you want. You can just take minimum nodes, maximum nodes. You can see here. For example, if you take a 4x, 428 dbus you have, so you can just divide that into how many computes you want. Those many computes you can take. And here you see you are going with the option of serverless. Serverless means you are not worrying about how many computes to use in the background, and also everything will be taken care by this particular cluster automatically. Okay team? Now if you come to all purpose cluster, you can just see here all purpose cluster. I have not created anything here. Serverless also I'm not starting. I'm directly clicking on this notebook. Click on this notebook. Let's say I'm just giving it as a first notebook. First notebook. So let's see what all options we discussed. New notebook we have seen. It is an option to create a new notebook in the same location of this virtual notebook. Import, we know different types of files you can import. The base is maybe it can be a Python file, it can be a Jupyter file, it can be HTML, DBC. Okay. New notebook dashboard is used for creating the reporting. Okay, share option will be enabled once the cluster is available. So we will see that. Now schedule. Schedule one I want to discuss. Now let me schedule a job. Let's say a equal to 10, equal to 20. See, basic code I am writing, because if I write complex coding and all, you may think, oh, what is this code, how this code is working and all. That is basically will waste our time. Those are going to be discussed in the future session. Now our goal is to understand the different options that we have in the notebook. Okay, so that's why simple code a equal to 10, b equal to 20. I am just summing a plus b, that will be 30. It will print welcome to cloud. 4 lines, simple lines I have written. Now I want to schedule. Scheduling can be, you can click on here to schedule, you can click on here to schedule. You are seeing, right, two options. One is here, second one is here. There is a third option. You can go here and create a job for scheduling. Three options we have for creating schedules. Now I'll click on the schedule. Now this is the notebook. Simple, advanced. Let's go with the simple. See how you want. Okay, let's go with advanced, because I also want to set the time. Every day at 6:23 I want to run this job. And in which time zone? In IST. Cluster, if you see now, three types of clusters it is going to show you. Okay, three types of clusters it is not showing, only two types of clusters it is showing: job cluster, existing all purpose cluster. But I think serverless, we may need to run it and we may need to attach it to the running one. Maybe let me try to do one thing, because while scheduling the job it is not showing, right, the serverless. That's why I want to start. See, you can start it by clicking here. You are seeing, right, option of here. You will see the option. Carefully see now. See, there is a start this SQL warehouse. It will start. Let's wait for a few seconds. It will not even take a 1 minute. It will take max of 30 seconds to start the serverless. Because I want to make sure that when we are scheduling the job, the serverless is also coming up or not. I want to understand. Correct. First notebook. Now click on schedule here. Are there anything anywhere you can schedule? Okay. Now first notebook, advanced, every day at 6:24. I want to run the notebook. Time zone is IST. Now clusters. Are you seeing serverless? Okay, serverless is currently not supported for scheduling the jobs tip. You see here, right? Serverless is not yet added as part of the scheduling, but in the Databricks community, they are giving that. I think they don't want to give job cluster and existing all-purpose cluster. Okay, so now I want to show you the option of the job cluster. Okay. So now when you choose a job cluster, you need to tell, okay, so compute name, let's say MS job cluster, job cluster. So this is my cluster, unrestricted. I don't want to take so many computes. I want is a single computer, single node, and the node type also should be this one, DS3 underscore V2 compute. And then these tags and all not required. It is basically to say created by Cloud Pandit. Okay, next. So you will come to know all these things we will discuss going forward. So how to use all these options will come to know. So for now I am leaving to the default. Okay, what we configured, we configure the cluster name. Instead of the multi-node cluster, we want to take a single node cluster. So I am just choosing single node. Type of node I have taken is node or computer, both are same, remember. Okay, Node is nothing but a 14 GB memory, 4 cores node I am taking. Okay, with this tag I have added to make you understand, with this confirm, meaning this is my job cluster configurations I have given. What time I schedule job? 6:24, create it. Now job is scheduled at what time, T?
6:23.
Job is scheduled at 6:24 a.m. Now if you go to jobs and pipelines, okay, if you go to job runs, even though time is 6:24, job is not yet started. Maybe it will show up here little late, but the job would have started already at 6:24. Click on that notebook. Runs not started yet. Yeah, now it is started the run. Okay, now go to job runs. See here, job start time is 6:24 only. It is started almost 20 seconds back. Okay, now if you click on, okay, so now the job is running, right? You can go to compute. You see you don't have all purpose cluster. Job compute, if you see, there is some job compute is creating. Yes or no, Tim? Is it creating or not? Job compute, is it creating or not, Tim?
It's creating.
So compute name, if you see, MS job cluster. We have given the name of the cluster is MS job cluster. Clear? So because it is going to create a lot of clusters, right? It can't just use the same name. So that's why some job cluster ID it is going to be added. Okay, job ID and the run ID, it is going to adding to your cluster name, which whatever name you have given, so that this will make the cluster name as unique. What all things it is appending as part of the cluster name type? Job ID, run ID, and the cluster name that I have given. All these things it is concatenating to make it as a unique job cluster name. Clear? Now, how much time do you think it will take to execute it? Everybody, anybody who knows, please tell me how much time it will take to execute this job.
Maybe this since this is the first time, so it will take some time to first create this node. Then it will execute the job. So
Okay.
that is going to take some time. But if we use the same
Sometime means
node,
I will guess time. Anybody knows how much time generally cluster takes to create when we create
To
the
5,
cluster? Hmm?
4 to 5 minutes.
4 to 5 minutes. Okay. So I don't want to waste 4 to 5 minutes. Meantime, I also wanted to show you. I want to create an all-purpose cluster as well. Click on create compute. So all-purpose cluster name is, this is interactive MS cluster. Okay, and here also I'm using a single node compute, and it should be inactive for 30 minutes. If nobody is running any jobs on this particular computer for about 30 minutes, what happens? This computer also will shut down. Key value pairs I'm not giving. Okay, with this there is a one thing we need to change is the node type. DS3V2 14 GB memory and 4%. You may ask why I'm not using delta cache, because this type of nodes are not enabled in my subscription. That's why I'm not using that. I'm choosing this. Okay. But in your case also, if a particular cluster is not coming up, means you have to just go for other node types. Okay. Click create team. So interactive MS cluster is also coming up. And if you go to compute, now you can see interactive MS cluster also I created, job compute also I created. Okay. So let me quickly take some of the questions that people posted. Can we please start on time so that we can finish on time? Thanks for understanding for long waiting. No, 5-6 minutes we need to wait because some people may have issues. Some new people are joining every day, right? So first few days it may delay on. Later we will start on time. Types of clusters, 4 types of files. Okay, okay, Bravo, Lab. Also, please show how to share clusters to team. Okay, Krishna, I'll show you that. And what is the purpose of photons acceleration during cluster configuration? That is to accelerate the job performance. Okay, photon is the Databricks internal thing, which is basically when you enable that, it will accelerate the performance of our jobs. Okay, Ram. Okay. Now let me show you one thing. So first thing is job cluster is ready. Let's go to jobs and pipeline. Let's go to job runs. See, it took 4 minutes 50 seconds. We go inside. We can analyze everything. So it took 4 minutes 48 seconds. If you see, this is not even tick 1 second, not even 1 second, not even 1 second, not even 1 second. Meaning all these things together completed in 1 second. Okay, meaning cluster only took a 4 to 5 minutes to create the cluster. Now job finished. Once job finished, what happens to the job cluster team? What happens to the job cluster once job is finished? See, it is already job finished. It is already went to the stop mode. You can't start it. Are you getting? It is already in the shutdown mode. You can see here. Job finished. It is already shut down. It is not running. Understood? Okay. So this is shutdown and all purpose cluster is creating to look at other options that you have in the notebook. Okay. This is the first thing. Second thing, Krishna asked how to share this cluster with other people. So here 3 dots you are seeing, right? Click on these 3 dots. You see edit permissions. You can add the people whomever you want to give the access. So as I mentioned, so they can attach and run the jobs, or they can also give access to others, or they can restart the cluster or not. These 3 types of permissions you can give. Okay, fine. Now let's move on. Go back to my notebook. Now we discussed scheduling. I hope everybody is clear. Changing default cell language, clone, rename, export, move to trash, whenever notebook move to the trash, it will be deleted after 30 days. Notebook formats. I was just going through documentation. What I understood is Jupyter means, for example, you will create some visualization reports here, right? Some outputs you will have. When you export the notebook, when you import it back back to the Databricks, you will see those outputs, those visualization dashboards, everything you will be able to see if you are going to maintain your data as a Jupyter format. But if you are taking a source format, you will be able to take only the source code, only code, no output, no visualization or dashboards, nothing will be exported. So that's why it is highly recommend you to take it as a Jupyter only. Okay. Next, upload data to DBFS. Yesterday we already discussed, but I was searching for some option, right? That is, it was not allowing us to create a table through notebook. It was allowing us to create a table only through UI. I told I want to explain this option once again. Click on upload data. Click on this. Now I want to take it. I have shared some data sets also yesterday with you team. You can just go through. Okay, next. So now when I upload this particular file, now this particular file you want to read it in PySpark or Pandas or Scala. In which language you want to read? I want to read it in the PySpark. I'll copy this code, click done. So now I can paste that particular code here to read that particular file. Are you getting? I can able to read this particular file now. Now just to connect our notebook to the cluster, execute this. Okay, so I got a syntax to read the file. I'm reading the file. I got this particular, I'm able to display. So next option you see, cre- create or modify table. Click on create or modify table.
Sir, sir, could you please show it again? Uploading the file and creating the table.
Same option here, whatever option you are seeing, same option, everything, these three are relevant. That's why you can see anything, you will be able to understand. So I uploaded the data, right? Yesterday also you have seen only UI option came, right? When you use the serverless, UI option is coming. Okay, I think create or modify table from file path is only supported. This particular feature is supported by only serverless. So yesterday we explored. This is basically directly creating the table, but I don't want to do this. Already we have explored that. Now directly let's go to add data. Just a minute. Yeah, here click on upload file to DBFS. See here, same option team. I am showing, somebody asked, can you explain once again? Click on drop files. So I am just uploading once again, credit to underscore daily. Now you see two options are coming here, right? What are those two options? One is create a table with UI. Second is create table in notebook. Yesterday we have seen already creating table with UI. So if you want to see once again, you can see create table with UI. When you click on that, you have to attach the cluster. Okay. See, earlier it was supporting a serverless for creating a table, but this option is supporting the cluster to create a table. Now if you click on preview data, it will just to show you very similarly whatever we have seen in the, just before this particular option we were exploring one of the option, right? There also we have seen same UI. Correct. Correct team. Why nobody is speaking? So now instead of going through UI, I want to create the table using the notebook. Create table in notebook. I am clicking. Now you see what happens. Automatically it is created a notebook. It is just taken the path of the file which we have uploaded. So is it what type of file? CSV. Do we have headers in this file? Yes. I'll say true. Now I want to read. Okay. So now you can see here all the rows you have here. So you got it right. This is the data frame. So this data frame, create or replace temp view. So what we are doing here, we are creating a temporary view. This is not a table. Remember, this is a temporary view, not a table. Okay. So we can query this particular table. This is one thing. So the second thing is, you can also create a permanent table like this. df.write.format of parquet. So you can say this is uh, final. So permanent table name is final. So you can also write same data as a permanent table. Now you have a confusion. What you are doing? There is an info schema. There is a first row header. Okay, there is a delimiter. What are these all options? This is a coding. We will go deep dive into each of these options in the upcoming sessions. This is not the time to discuss about those things. Info schema, as you asked, I'll tell you. By default, when you read a CSV file, all the columns will be considered as a string. But when you say info schema equal to true, Spark will scan the data, understand the type of data. If it is a number, it will consider as an integer. If it is a date, it will consider as a timestamp. If it is a text, it will consider as a string. Okay, so here whatever I have done here is save as a table, means it is permanent table is created, and here temp table is created. What is the difference? Temp table will not be available once the cluster is shut down, but if you go to the catalog, always your permanent table will be available here. So your permanent table will be available. See, credit to underscore daily underscore final. Permanent table is available here. Okay. Next. So I think with this we have seen. So I am summarizing these three options. Upload data to DBFS. When you upload a file, it will generate the code. That code you have to copy manually and paste it in the notebook. Note down somewhere. Okay. Second option, create or modify table. This option works only with the serverless compute to create a table or modify the existing table through UI only, through UI. Add data, you can upload a file again using this option, but you can create a table through UI or notebook using the interactive cluster. Okay, I hope now if anybody have any questions with respect to the first tab, please let me know, Tim. If anybody have any questions with respect to the first tab, please let me know quickly.
Kamale,
Hmm.
hello. What is the use case like when to use like creating the table through UI or when to use the code? Are there some like specific things which we should be aware of while creating a table through UI or through a code? Hello, hello.
Are you able to hear me now? There is a power cut, Tim. I just switched my
Yes,
network.
yes.
Able- Yeah.
Yes, we can hear.
You what? So there was a question, right? Okay, when to create a table through UI. So let's say you kept the all your configurations in some CSV file. You will come to know what is configurations when you are processing multiple tables, data quality checks and all. We will keep the details, which table, what checks, or from where we need to read the data, what need to be done on the table, where we want to write. All these details we will keep it in the configuration, right? So you prepared some CSV file like with all configurations. Now you want to convert that CSV file back to the table. How you will do that, Tim? How you will do that converting the CSV file into the table? So we can just we can upload that particular file and we can create the table out of that particular file. So that is the easiest way. The second way is if you are if you are good with the coding, you can directly read that particular file from the storage account. You can read and create the permanent table. Whatever is feasible for you, you can do, but the easiest option for you to create a direct table from the files is this. Clear?
Yes,
Is
yes,
is
Mala.
these
Thank you.
options is these options same in the community edition and Azure portal both?
Same is accessed in community. No, community we have seen yesterday, it was not working as expected. I think only this option is working. Create or modify table, meaning table we are able to create through UI using serverless. Yes, that was working. Okay.
Oh, why I have asked this question is I didn't create the Azure portal.
That's okay. You can start using the community. So we also won't recommend you to create the Azure portal at this moment, and I won't recommend you to use the Azure Databricks for the our learning because it is very costly. And one more question Ram asked is, what is the use of creating table is if you have a table, it will be easy for you to update something, adding something to the table in future. If you want to, for example, you have 100 table, you have 5 tables are inactive, you want to activate those 4 once again. It will be easy. If it is a table, you can write directly queries to do the update statements. Okay, fine. So let me move on to the other things, Tim. We are basically stuck here, we are not moving at all today. Now let's go with this edit, right? So cut cell, for example, a equal to 10, I have my cursor is a equal to 10 at this particular position. I'm cutting the cell. Okay, it was cutted, right? Now if you want to, whatever cut cell you want to undo action, I don't want to cut it. If you feel that, you can say undo cut cell. Okay, next, very similarly, keep the cursor here only. I am saying copy cell. I copied the cell, and what I wanted to do is, maybe let's say you can just control V, you can able to type. Okay, control V will work, or you can also work as a paste cell. But paste cell, if you see, paste cell is not working, right? So that's why what you can do is, you can just create a code and you can say control V. So it basically works for copy paste. I hope you know copying, pasting, and all those things. Now delete cell. Delete cell can be done in multiple ways. One is a equal to 10. Now you can click on the delete cells. It will be deleted. If you want to get it back, you can say undo deleted cell. Okay. Next, if you want to delete the cell, you can see right top there is a delete cell option. Here also you can able to use this option also to delete the cell. But we generally use this shortcut only to delete the cell. Okay, here we will click on this to delete the cells. If you want to get it back, undo cell you can able to do. Clear, team? Next, insert cell above, insert cell below. Insert cell above means, for example, b equal to 20. Here I want to insert one cell above, one cell below. You have option insert cell above, so you have cell is inserted above. So I am just again clicking on the b equal to 20. So there I want to, again what I want to do is, I want to insert one more cell below. See, one more cell is inserted below, one cell is inserted above. But what is the easiest way, to instead of going through UI? What is the easiest option? You see option called code. Click on the code to create a cell above. If you want to create a cell below, you see option of plus code to create the cell below or above. Next, now I am deleting this. I am deleting this. Now I want to move b equal to 20 to the first. Click on this, move cell up. See, a equal to 10, b equal to 20 is there. But now I am saying b equal to 20, can you move up? See, it is moved up. Okay, now I want to bring it down. B equal to 20, I want to bring it down. You can click on this, say move cell down. Okay, what you need to do, Tim? You need to say move cell down. Okay, so you can click on move cell down. It is just moving the cell down. A equal to 10, b equal to 20. Correct? We are able to move cell up, move cell down. Next, select all cells. It is selected all the cells that you have here. Now if you want to cut all the cells, you can cut it. If you want to paste once again, you can paste everything. How I pasted? Through control V. Shortcuts also will work, Tim. Control V I have used. Once again, if I do control V, see, second time also it is pasted. You can see, right? Till here is one, sorry, till here is one batch. Second batch is from 7th cell onward, second batch. Are you getting? Two times I pasted. I want to undo paste cell. I undo first 6 cells only you have here. So that's how you can able to use move cell up, move cell down, select all. After selecting all, you can copy paste. Okay. Now, very important, whether you know whatever you understood or you did not understand doesn't matter, but whatever I am writing now, this you must have to understand. Okay, otherwise you will be in a trouble. So for example, I will ask this one. So I asked to generator some dictionary. I'll tell you why I am generating, because to populate the data it takes more time for me. Okay. So let me so what I'll do, Tim, you keep the see right at top, are you seeing option of copy? You copy. Now this is basically Python cell. I kept all the code in this cell. Now is it readable, Tim?
Not readable.
No.
Very important, please focus here. It is not readable, okay? Now I'll go to three dots. I'll say format Python. Maybe it may take good. It is just arranging. It will take a few minutes or a few seconds. Just wait. See, is it readable?
Yes.
Is it
Yeah,
readable?
it's
Who arranged it? Automatically, when
uh,
I click on the format Python, it is automatically formatted the code. Okay. You can also see same thing. I am reverting this change. I'll click on edit. I'll say format cell. What you said, Tim? Format cell you said, correct? So again, it is taking few seconds to arrange it. Okay, it is arranged. Again, it is arranged. Well and good. Now, let's say this is which notebook, Tim? Python notebook. Can I write SQL code in this Python notebook? Can I write SQL code within this Python notebook? Anybody aware of it?
Yes, you can do it.
Yes.
Yes.
You can write
embedded
using
inside
the
the Python.
percentile SQL. These are called a magic commands. Using magic commands, you can write the code. Now, I am putting this way. I'm just executing. Okay, it is given this column, right? So now you see, team, this is a SQL code. This is a Python code, right? Now let's say, now firstly, this much code is not really required. Let's remove some of this content so that it will be easy for.
This is this is output, right? Uh,
No. This is just taken as a input. Okay, this is a Python
oh,
input.
code.
Some dictionary I am creating.
Code in the cell.
This
Okay.
this is code cell only. Python code here. Here SQL code I have. Now what I wanted to show you is, for example, if I keep my cursor here, if I go here and say format cell, it just to format only this cell. It is not formatting this one, right? Again, I need to keep the cursor here. I need to say format cell. I need to say what in format cell. So it is formatted the SQL as well, correct? But let's say if I want to format entire notebook at once, you can see option of format notebook. Are you seeing the option of format notebook? Yes. See, everything is formatted or not. So that's how you can format the code, one cell or entire notebook also you can able to format it. Notebook Python indentation. Python indentation is not working. You don't worry about it because in mainly in Python only. That's why I think the name also they might have suggested Python indentation. Okay, indentation issues only will come in the Python. What is indentation? I'll explain to you. For example, you want to check username. Somebody entered a username to log in. Username is passed as a Cloud Pandit. But I want to check whether they passed Cloud Pandit or not. How you will check? If username is equal to Cloud Pandit, then I want to say print pass. Okay, logged in successfully. Correct. I just said execute this. What happens? You see now. Indentation error. What is this indentation? What it is suggesting to? It is suggesting to maintain some space here. What is meant by that space is because this is the statement that should be there under the if condition. Correct. The statement should be there under if condition because this statement should execute only when this condition becomes a true. So that's how whenever you want to write some lines of code under something, then you need to give some space. That is indentation. Now how many spaces it has taken? Four spaces, right? One, two, three, four. Four spaces it has taken. Not only four, you can also take two spaces. One, two. See, two spaces also working. But if you're not giving any space, it will throw error. Two you can give, four you can give. This is what is recommended by the Databricks. That's why if you go here, it will tell you Python indentation supported with the two spaces or four spaces. Okay, two spaces or four spaces. Clear? That is the option. But if you restrict, hey, use only two or use four, it will not stop you to use two or four. You can use two or four irrespective of what option is selected in this particular Python indentation option. Next, add parameters, right? So add parameter is basically, remember, add parameter option is for adding the parameters, but this is basically we will discuss once we complete our notebook options. We will discuss how to create a notebook, how to create a parameters to the notebook. But for now, as that option also we want to explore, I will be quickly showing you. Just a minute. I just clicked on the add parameters team. So when I click on the add parameters, what is added team? It just added this param underscore one, correct? So if you want to rename this, you can just click on the settings. See the name, you can change it to load type. Okay, type of value that we are passing is text. You can just keep it. Load type is, let's say, full load. I can just put it the value. So how to read this value? Through UI, through code only you need to read. So we will discuss about these commands very soon. So if you say get load type, it will get the what is the value you passed. See, currently you passed full load, it is giving. Let's say you pass incremental. So then what happens to incremental is coming. Whatever you pass, that will come. But you can create the parameters through db utility commands that we will discuss in detail in the upcoming sessions. Okay, so that is all about the parameter option. Next, find and replace. You have a find and you have a option of replace, right? So because somehow the screen is not working for the downside options, that's why click on find. And once you click on the find, now what is this find is, let's say I want to find wherever you have a Cloud Pandit. I want to just identify how many times Cloud Pandit is showing for you. One of four. So one, two, three, right here. I think four places you are able to see the Cloud Pandit. Okay, so you can just go one by one. See, this is the first one, second one, there is third one, and this is the fourth one. Okay, four times Cloud Pandit is there. That is what it is showing. Okay, team. Now you also have an option of very important option called replace. Click on replace. Now you see Cloud Pandit is there. Now I want to replace that with MS Cloud. Replace everywhere from Cloud Pandit to MS Cloud. Cloud Pandit to MS Cloud. So here also MS Cloud, MS Cloud. You may want to update some parameters, something. It is very difficult to look at and update it, right? It will be easy if you can able to utilize this option to replace something. Let's say as part of your review. So your let's say your client recommended to use a Pascal case or Camel case. Don't use somewhere with underscore, somewhere with some other format. So please make sure the variable names should be consistent. Then you, as part of that, as part of review comments, right? You are correcting all the notebook variable names and all. So you want to check wherever you have a Cloud Pandit. So I want to make sure the first letter should be uppercase. So you want to replace it, so it is the best option to replace it instead of searching, replacing one by one. Okay. So with that, we completed the second tab called Edit tab. Anybody have any doubts at particular option? If you are not clear, please let me know. I'll explain that.
Is this case sensitive?
Yes, Python is a case sensitive language. To show you that, as you asked, I want to tell you a equal to 10. Okay. Now, if you access print a, a is not defined. Understood? It's a case sensitive.
Yeah, thank
Next,
you.
what is the use of creating table is complete. We are just uploading files. Why it is asking us to create UI table and notebook table? That is giving the option. You want to create the table through UI. You want to create the table through notebook. We recommend you to put it as a part of the notebook, because if something needs to be changed, some parameters you can adjust and you can run the notebook to create a table. Okay, how we can create a dashboards using notebooks, and what is the purpose of creating dashboards are, right, for creating a, see, instead of creating reports in the Power BI or something, here itself if you have a data frame result, you have done some data transformation, you have result, with that result you want to create some dashboards, you can create. So please note down this question in some notes, and you can just remind me when we start with our data frames. So because this is not the right time to discuss, we need to create a data frame, get the result, and then we need to display that result. Once we display that result, on top of that we can create the reporting and all. Okay, yes. Anything else we want to answer, Tim? Any questions you have, direct questions? Okay, I'm just removing this parameter. I clicked on settings, click on remove parameter. These options are not working sometimes for me. That's okay. Now we will move on to the view. View is very important. Okay, view is very important. The reason is, how you want to view your notebook is that you can customize it. See, many people not aware in real time. They will just look at the different Databricks workspaces, but the UI, you can able to customize the UI. Okay, firstly let me clear all cell outputs to make sure the notebook is very clean. Okay, next, click on view, the view. So the first one is the notebook view, whatever is there. So current notebook view only we want to see. For example, you want to go and create a notebook dashboard. So same option as this, new notebook dashboard. Here also, if you have some dashboard, if you want to switch to that dashboard, you can able to switch. But currently we don't have any dashboard. We can leave it. Now come to notebook layout, right? Currently it is centered layout. Sorry, it is currently full width layout, right? Now I am moving on to the center layout. You don't see much difference. If you see, the cell length will be reduced when I say centered layout. Are you seeing? Only cell layout is reducing. Are you seeing? Now full width means it will expand further little bit. You see here. Anybody observe that?
Yeah.
Center layout, it is reducing. When you say it is full width, it is making it as a full width. Next. Currently, I am basically print A, right? Now you do a run all option to run all the cells. Okay, there is error, that's okay. Now I want to see currently what is happening. There is a code here, result down, code here, result down, code here, result or error, whatever it is down, it is coming. That is called a standard. But I want to change that view from standard to side by side. See here, this is the code, this is the result. 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 Everybody understood?
Yes.
Okay. Now one more option you see, results only. When we will use the results only, meaning you are only displaying the result from all the cells. Any guesses when we will use the result only? Remember, when we will use result only is, in many times you want to compare two table result or two transformations result you want to compare. In such cases, instead of downloading the result and comparing here itself, this cell output, this cell output, if you want to compare, you can put in the cell layout as a result only, so that only result will be displayed. You can compare the two results. Are you clear? That is the option of the result only. But now I am moving back to the standard. Next, workspace theme. Currently it is a use system default settings, but now I want to go for the dark theme. So meaning, see, I changed the complete, the background of the colors, everything, right? So if you like this particular color, you can just work on this color. Okay, let's say I want to go with the light theme. So light theme is nothing but a original again. This is basically nothing but a system default theme. Okay, both are same. Understood? Next, editor theme, right? So editor theme means, now for example, you see a equal to 10. When I am writing, I want to delete all the cells. Firstly, to make you understand this, simple, right? Now you carefully, you don't even record these many cells, only one cell. What I will do is, okay, some text I kept it here, right? Some text I kept it here. Let's, I'll just assign this to, so this is a variable. Okay, so don't worry about what I'm doing. So just to see, a plus b plus a plus, okay. So if you see, there are different colors you are seeing in the text. This is in the red color, this is in some blue color, this is different color you are able to see, correct? So this editor theme is basically to change a different coloring of this text. See, now text is changed to different colors now. It is came more thick, correct? Correct team? Atom one light. So this is coming in a different color now. Earlier this was a red color. So that's how, if you want to change the text to whatever color you want, that particular color you can able to see. See, the text, whatever text you are seeing, that is changing based on whatever options that you are choosing there, correct? So similarly, whatever options you feel you want this text colors to be changed, so that particular option you can able to go. But generally we use for the Databricks default color of this text. Clear? Next, side panel. So side panel means table of content, workspace, catalog, assistance, comment, all these things. Okay, just side panel, leave it. We will discuss. If we discuss this, I think most of the things will be completed. I'll focus on this from 7 o'clock, 10 minutes. So next 2 minutes, let me talk about remaining things. Okay. So appearance, if you see line number, right? First line number means you see, if I'm writing like this, see line numbers are coming. Yes. What is this number? This is called a command number. Are you seeing these are called a command numbers? Command 1, command 2. These are called a line numbers. Are you seeing them? Okay. So if you want to adjust them, you see line numbers. If you don't want, uncheck. Are you seeing any line numbers? No. Correct. But I highly recommend you to keep the line numbers. It will be very helpful for debugging the errors and all. Okay. Next, command numbers. Next, what you want in cell numbers. The cell numbers is gone. Cell or command. Okay. So cell number is gone. If you want to get it, you can just get the cell number. Next, you see there is a something called collapse all headings. This table of content. These are too relevant. Let me tell you now. This is the time to discuss about this. So index page, I'm preparing index page. For preparing index page, you need to use a %md. This is called a markdown language. Here I will say defining variables. Here I'll say %md created function called created common functions. Okay. Next, %md created empty class. Okay. So now what is going to happen, Tim? So you have 1, 2, 3. I'm moving like this, right? But if you see here, collapse all headings. What happened?
That's
What
collapsed
happened,
all the
Tim?
cells.
It just collapsed based on the index. For example, chapter 1, all the content is collapsed. Chapter 2, everything is collapsed. Chapter 3, everything is collapsed. Now, if you want to expand, it will be easy for us to navigate if you collapse, right? So for example, I want to focus only on the functions. I can expand, I can work on the functions. Okay, let's say if I want to work on only variables, I can expand variables. I can say if I want only empty classes, I can do that. Okay, so that's how. If you want to basically collapse, you can able to collapse. If you don't want to collapse, you can just keep it as it is in the expanded mode. Top navigation bar means you are seeing search bar, right? Those bar and all, if you don't want, you can uncheck this top navigation bar. Search bar, everything will be gone. Okay, but I want to keep those top navigation bar, keep them. Next, smart code and bracket matching is not working. Leave about it. Automatic assistant autocomplete. So what is this automatic assistant autocomplete is? If you look at, for example, what I wanted to do is just a minute. For example, here, not this one. If you look at the sum function we have, right? Sum function we have. I'm just called like defined the sum function. I want to call that. Okay. See, automatically, are you seeing automatically it is populating some data? This is called a intelligence. So if you want automatic, assistance to auto complete that particular thing, you can check it. Now you have seen, as we checked this option, it is coming. As we checked this option, it was coming. But if I uncheck this, now I'll try the same option once again now. Are you getting 1 comma 2, something like that? Are you getting now? No, right? So that's how this option also I always recommend you to put it. Okay, next, extended bottom panel. So not sure about this option. This option also new team, extended bottom panel. I'm not seeing any difference. Maybe if I by the time we complete our training, if I get to know what is this option, I'll let you know. Okay, that is all about this particular options. Anybody have any doubts in this? We are good. Yes. Now side panel. Side panel means you can click on the table of content. Already you can see table of content means we created these index pages, right? So that is nothing but a table of content will be shown. If you click on this, it will take you to here. Created empty classes. If you click on this, it will take you to here. Again, if you click on defining variable, you will click. So your table of content is kind of index page. If you click on this, it will take you to that particular section directly. Okay, that is the use of this table of content. Okay, next, workspace. Workspace is nothing but a the place where you have a notebook. So you can just click on this workspace, right? In this workspace we have a users, but if you want to see the workspace and the user notebooks and all, directly you can enable this particular option. Catalog. So here you have a catalog. If you want to make that catalog available here to expand and see, you can enable that. Meaning, instead of someone to go here and navigate directly, for example, you want to commonly switch between the notebooks, you can enable workspace. You want to search for some tables, you can enable the catalog option here when you are working. Okay, assistant means, you know, right? You want to let's say you want to keep right side always this AI to be open, because I'm working on some development. I want to keep searching, create PySpark data frame and add 2 new columns and write it as Parquet. So this is my requirement. I'll just search it. It will give this code. I'll copy this code and I'll put it here and I'll edit as per my requirement. So it will basically accelerate my development efforts. See, whatever development that you are going to do for 8 hours, now you can do it in a 3-4 hours. At least 50% reduction, because a lot of syntax is you can copy paste now. That's how if you want to make this is available at the right side, you can able to make it available assistant. Clear, Tim? Next, comments. Comments, for example, I know that this function why I defined. I'll just select this. You see option right top, comment. Are you seeing that? Click on this. Where is that comment? I'm not seeing that. Okay, let me do one thing. Is that option is, see, that option was not visible for us, right? Here that option is coming. Create a comment. So now you can create a comment saying that this sum function is utility function used as used across all notebooks, something like this. Okay, I added the comment. Something I want to let people know, so I just added. At any time you want to see some comments, click on this, you will see all the comments written. Not only this, all comments will be, you can able to see here. But if you want to add any comment, you can just click on this place. You can say this is sample variable declaration, something like this. You can add it. You can click on comments, you can see the comments. All the comments you can see at once. Next, you have an option of ML flow. If anybody is running the machine learning jobs, So they are training their models, everything you can able to see. So this is the ML flow. You can see the ML runs, how it is happening. The next one is version control. Version control means in this notebook I have made lot of changes, but I realized these all are wrong. I want to restore back to whatever change, whatever code was there at 6 o'clock 20 minutes. I want to restore. I'll select this, click on restore to this version. This is the first time what was the code that is available in my notebook. Through version control, you can restore it if something goes wrong. Next, variable. So how many variables we have in this thing? We have currently, you run all once again because it is not able to identify. Click on this. Now you see a variable you have, b variable you have. So earlier you defined username, df1, all these are available within your session. In this notebook you have all these variables set aside. So finally, Python libraries. If you want to install something, you can able to see here. PyODBC. So what is the latest version which is available? 5.0.1. So you can see those libraries here. So same options you are seeing here. Comment, ML flow, version history, variable explorer, Python library. Whatever you want, you can just click on the version history, it will show. If you click on this, if you want variable explorer, you can click on that, it will show. But I just clicked here and I have shown you same options also visible here. Okay, so that's it, I think, for today. Maybe we will close it here. We will discuss about web terminal, driver logs. So because we are not going to talk about any of these things at this moment, these all we will be using when we are looking at our code, how our code is executing. Is it executing in the better, like in the high performance, or is it not running in the better way? Can we do something on top of this transformation job? If you want to understand, you need to look at the Spark UI web terminal. Driver log means you will have a cluster. Within the cluster you will have one of the computer is a driver, kind of our manager. So we will look at how the logs, if something goes wrong, we will see. Okay, developer settings. If you, these all things we will discuss. Developer setting, query snippets, and these run options, help. So there are some more options here, these options. Then you have this options. So you have a table of content here, workspace option, catalog option, assistant option. Here also you have. So whatever you want to use here, you can also use that. We discussed already about this. We already discussed about these things. Okay. So I'm stopping class today here. So let me know if you have any questions. Anybody have any questions?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Tabs off means. Where is off means, Krishna? Tabs off. I did not get. Where is that option? Okay, here.
Top, yeah.
Okay. See, tabs means like this. You can create a multiple notebooks. You can just keep it like this. Okay, multiple notebooks. You can work at the same time as a tabs. Okay, if you on, if you turn off that, you will not be able to see. Understood? Krishna, clear?
Yeah, clear.
Any other questions? Anybody have any other questions, Tim? Anybody have any questions, Tim? Okay, fine.
Yeah, we are
So
good.
you don't worry.
Uh, need to watch the recorded session again tomorrow. Maybe it's good. Yeah.
Correct. I agree. Totally agree. You must have to go through the session. If you are just going through the recording, there is no use at all. You need to practice it, because
Yes.
now you will feel that, oh, this is just working like this. Okay, this is working like this. But when you experience, you will get more confidence.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's why I highly recommend all of you to practice whatever we are saying. So with tomorrow, we will complete the notebook options. Then we will go to the DB utilities for 2 more days. After that, we will slowly move on to the integrating with the storages, integrating with the Databricks, and then data transformation. Slowly, we will accelerate the classes.
Only one question, sir. Actually, see, when we upload the files into, I mean, Databricks file system, right? So why we are creating the table? Why we are using the table to update the data like that? That is. So it's a feature we need to use or something like that.
We are not updating the table, but we will create the table. For updating directly, we use SQL statements to update it.
Okay, so once it is updated, we can reuse it and we can send it to some other database or source, something like that, right? Destination path, something like that, right?
Yes, yes. Wherever you want to copy, you can copy that data. Correct.
The table, updated table after that. Okay.
Yes, updated data also you can able to send it to wherever you want to send. There is no
Okay.
restrictions.
Okay. But it has the own memory to store these tables, right? I mean, Databricks itself, there is a memory to store.
Databricks, all this table content also will be stored in the Databricks file system itself.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Makes sense. Okay.
Any other questions, Tim? No questions. Okay, then thank you all. That's all for today.